Good afternoon. Welcome back. It is a late episode of the birthday series we have going on here. We have, excuse me, we have a couple cardless birthdays and then a couple with cards. So we'll start out with the first one, born on this date in 1936. Now this is Monday, February 13th, 2023. Born on this date in February 13th, 1936. He passed away sadly in 2014. Former NASCAR, four-time NASCAR West Series champion, Bill Schmitt. Um, Now, if you trace the roots of the ARCA West Series, it becomes the Winston West Series going back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And Bill was a very, very dominant figure in that series, racing with drivers like Herschel McGriff, Derek Cope, Chad Little, Jim Robinson. So many names that came out of that series. Bill was one of the dominant drivers in that era and in that series. Also, another birthday, another cardless birthday. There may be cards of this driver. I personally don't have any, but born on this date in 1974, but sadly passed away in 1996 on this date tomorrow, Casey Elliott. Casey, I can't remember if he was Dan or Ernie's Elliott's son, so he would have been a cousin to Chase Elliott. And Casey passed away of cancer. He did make two Xfinity Series, then Busch Series starts, 1993. He was a very promising driver and, may have ended up in the Cup Series at one date, but, succumbed to that deadly disease. So now we do have a couple of birthdays born on this date in 1948. And I believe, sadly, he has also passed away. This has been kind of a dark birthday day. Let me double check this. And my tablet's not agreeing with me. Yes, he died in 2002, but born on this date in 1948. Former IndyCar driver Jim Crawford. I do have a few cards of him. Jim was one of the proponents of the Buick cars back in the late 80s, early 90s. Always ran super fast. The Buicks just proved to not have reliability. They were super fast. So again, we have the English and the French. All world cards here. And again, another one that's English and French. The fronts are the same on this one, but if we turn the backs around, you can definitely see that two different languages there. So Jim Crawford always had super fast cars at Indy. The Buicks were always super fast, and then obviously John Menard, I think he did some work with Buick and ended up getting a more reliable car. And then in the mid 90s, his cars started performing really good. Our final birthday for today, born on this date in 1960, not a driver, but a longtime NASCAR crew chief, Mr. Donnie Wingo. So Donnie worked for various teams over the years. Here you see with Motorcraft, so he was with Bud Moore for a minute. Got a 93 Trax, first run, and the base. So we got a couple of those here. 91 Max. Again, with the Bud Moore team, so he's crew chief with Morgan Shepherd, Jeff Bodine, that bunch. There you see another 91 Max. So we're going to kind of rapid fire through these. 92 Max. I do know recently he's worked with Front Row Motorsports. I couldn't tell you actually where he's landed today, but he was definitely part of there you see him with the Quality Care team, so Lake Speed, Dick Trickle, those guys in the mid-90s. Of course, Bud Moore's team closed down. He moved over to Travis Carter. Was with Jimmy Spencer for a while. There's a 92 Trax and a 94 Trax first run. So pretty cool cards there. Of course, Bud Moore's team was always a stout team up till about the mid-90s when they started kind of losing some of their Ford support. When all their sponsorship went away, the team just unfortunately dried up. So anyway, we did have kind of one big event on this date in 1988. Bobby Allison won the Goodies 300 at Daytona for his final Busch Series career win. And that was, as typical for the era, a pretty crash-filled race. There was a hood that went into the stands that race and injured a few spectators. I know Donnie Allison and maybe Davey Allison may have been in that race as well. Those three always ran a lot of Busch Series races together back in the day. But pretty crash-filled race, like it was for the time. A lot of inexperienced drivers, wanting to make the step up to Cup, and those cars were pretty squirrely then as well. So anyway, like I said, it was kind of a quick video, a little late getting it out because I didn't do it last night. I actually fell asleep watching the game. So, I mean, I know who won, no big deal there. I DVR'd it, so if I ever choose to go back and watch it, it's there for the watching. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed the rest of today's video. I guess it's not a sequel or anything, but enjoyed the second video installment for the day. I guess this is a better way to say it. And enjoy the rest of your Monday. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.